Welcome back to our tutorial on using a slide rule. It is time for us to tackle the computation of trigonometric functions, and for this we are going to make use of the three scales that can be found on the back of the slide. These scales are labeled as S, T, and ST, which stand for sine, tangent, and sine tangent. We will see that by using them in combination with the C and CI scales, all the 6 trigonometric functions can be computed, as usual with 3 significant figures. Using these scales might be confusing at first, so let's go slowly. As for any other scales, it is important to be able to read the value of each graduation correctly. So, if we look closely at the sine scale between the 6 and 7 degrees marks, we can see that there are a total of 12 small intervals. We have to realize here that those tick marks do not correspond to degrees and decimals of a degree, but rather degrees and minutes. There are 60 minutes in a degree, which makes these small intervals correspond to 5 minutes each. Note that not all slide rules make use of scales with degrees and minutes. Some use degrees and decimals of a degree. Now you might wonder why the scales do not start at 0 degrees. In order to explain why, let us see first how to use the S scale. To compute the sine of an angle, move the slide so as to put the value of the angle on the S scale over the top left mark on the back of the body. Read the value on the C scale above the left index on the D scale and divide it by 10. For example, let us compute the sine of 34 degrees. We align the angle on the S scale with the top left mark, and we read the value 5.59 on the C scale above the left index on the D scale. Thus, the value of the sine is 0.559. Since the C scale starts at 1, this implies that the smallest value of the sine that can be obtained with the S scale is 0.1. This explains why the S scale does not start at 0 degrees. Before we explain how to compute the sine of the missing angles, let us determine what the smallest angle on the S scale is. Since the smallest interval near the 6 degrees mark corresponds to 5 minutes, we conclude that the tick mark indicated here corresponds to an angle of 5 degrees 55 minutes. With no surprise, the tick mark right before corresponds to 5 degrees 50 minutes, and we might want to conclude that the very first tick mark is therefore 5 degrees 45 minutes. However, this is not exact. The angle that corresponds to this tick mark has a sign that is equal to 0.1, and if we calculate a precise value of the inverse sine of 0.1, we find an angle of 5 degrees 44 minutes 21 seconds. Now the question is, how do we compute the sine of angles that are smaller than 5 degrees 44 minutes 21 seconds? If the angle is greater than 34 minutes 23 seconds, that is, if the sine is greater than 0.01, then the ST scale can be used. The procedure is similar to that of the S scale. Move the slide so as to put the value of the angle on the ST scale over the bottom right on the back of the body. Read the value on the C scale above the right index on the D scale and divide it by 100. For example, let us compute the sine of an angle of 3 degrees 34 minutes. We place the corresponding tick mark of the ST scale over the bottom right mark. Then we read the value 6.22 and we conclude that the value of the sine is 0.0622. What about angles that are smaller than those of the ST scale? In that case, all we have to do is to convert the angle to radians by dividing the angle in degrees by 57.3. Then it can be checked that the value of the sine is just approximated by the value of the angle itself, with a precision of at least 3 significant figures. For example, if we want the sine of 0.248 degrees, we prepare the division by placing the cursor's hairline on 2.48 on the D scale, and we move the slide to place the divisor 5.73 on the C scale under the hairline. Keep in mind that we used a dividend 10 times too large and a divisor 10 times too small, so the results of the division, 4.33, needs to be divided by 100. But in the present example, we must perform an additional division by 10 because it is read under the right index of the D scale. Thus, the final result is 0.00433. We are now capable of computing the sine of any angle. The procedure for computing the tangent of angles smaller than 45 degrees is similar to that of computing their sine. If the angle is greater than 5 degrees 42 minutes 38 seconds, then the T scale is used in combination with the C scale. For example, to compute the tangent of 36.5 degrees, we move the slide so as to put the angle's value over the bottom left mark, and we read the value on the C scale, which we divide by 10, so the result is 0.740. For angles smaller than 5 degrees 42 minutes 38 seconds, the procedure for computing the tangent is exactly the same as for the sine, since the two functions are approximately equal with a precision of at least 3 significant figures. Now, in order to compute the tangent of angles that are greater than 45 degrees, we use the identity shown, namely, the tangent of an angle is equal to the inverse of the tangent of the complementary angle. Note that computing the inverse of the tangent does not require any extra operation, since the inverse value can be read directly on the CI scale instead of the C scale. For example, to calculate the tangent of 68 degrees, we place the complementary angle, 22 degrees, on the T scale over the bottom left mark, and we read the value on the CI scale above the left index of the D scale. 2.48. Now, in order to calculate the cosine, there are two options that both take advantage of the relationship according to which the cosine of an angle is equal to the sine of the complementary angle. Thus, for any angle, one option consists in determining the complementary angle and then calculating the corresponding sine by using the method that is suitable for the interval in which the complementary angle falls. For example, if we want the cosine of 17 degrees, the complementary angle is 73 degrees, which is found on the S scale, so we calculate the corresponding sine by using the S scale in combination with the C scale. The result is about 0.955. The second option, which is only for angles that are on the S scale, consists in measuring angles starting from the right index of the scale. This is literally equivalent to computing the complementary angle, but note that the S scale is labeled as cosine on the right side and that some of the labels include the complementary values for convenience. So, we place the angle as measured from the right index over the top right mark, read the value on the C scale above the right index on the D scale, and divide by 10. For example, let us compute cosine 40 degrees. We find a double label 50-40, which means 50 is for the sine and 40 is for the cosine. We place the corresponding tick mark over the top right mark, and we read a value of about 7.65 on the C scale, which means the result is 0.765. We are now capable of computing the sine, cosine, and tangent for any angle, and computing the three other trigonometric functions is trivial. The cosecant, secant, and cotangent are just the reciprocals of the sine, cosine, and tangent, respectively, which means that we only need to exchange the reading from the C scale with that of the CI scale in order to perform the inversion. As a quick example, to compute the cosecant of 20 degrees, set the value 20 degrees on the S scale and read the value on the CI scale. 2.92. Note that there is an alternative for computing the cotangent, which consists in computing the tangent of the complementary angle. This is the reason why the T scale is labeled as cotangent on the right side and has some double labels, just as for the cosine. However, as opposed to the cosine, the value of the angle must be aligned with the bottom left mark because the bottom right mark is for the ST scale only. Finally, computing the inverse trigonometric functions is trivial. All that needs to be done is to reverse the procedure used to calculate the corresponding trigonometric function. As a quick example, to compute the arctangent of 0.65, multiply the number by 10, hence 6.5, and move the slide so as to place that value on the C scale over the left index on the D scale. Read the value on the T scale above the bottom left mark, 33 degrees. In the next part of this tutorial, we will see the use of special markings on the rule and the cursor. Please give a like, subscribe, write a comment and share on your social media.